Now, this has been a pretty interesting week. I want to just show a few clips before we get into your questions. One of them is a very interesting exchange at the White House press room when Jen Psaki, press secretary, is asked about the possibility of maybe bringing Nicki Minaj in to talk about vaccination. Let's watch.
You said that we engage all the time with people who have big platforms or profiles. How do you determine who to engage with and in what way on something like this, on vaccine hesitancy?
Sure.
And Nicki Minaj has 22 million Twitter followers. Why not invite her to the White House?
We are not always the right platform or the right voice, right? Sometimes that's because people may not like the president, and they may not have voted for him, and that's okay. And we work with a range of partners to communicate the efficacy and the safety of the vaccine.
Well, the first thing I get from that is that I'm not going to be invited to the White House to be making any comments. And I'll use Jen Psaki's gestures. If you tied her hands to the podium, she'd have a hard time getting through. Interestingly, this week has been a week of a little bit of, let's just say, conflict between the White House and the pro-Fauci, you got to have a vaccination or else, and Nicki Minaj, who didn't say she's anti-vax. She didn't, in fact. She said she's fine with the vaccination, but she raised some questions. That is verboten in this day and time. You cannot ask questions. How dare you ask a question? How dare you seek information? We're supposed to simply watch that flag go up the pole and salute it and not take a knee. So if the White House or Dr. Fauci tells us what we're supposed to do, we don't dare, and I'm not saying don't dare question the authority, we don't dare raise any questions to get information to make a better decision. I honestly think the White House is doing this totally backwards, because if they want more people to take the vaccine, they ought to set up a form and take all questions for hours and exhaustively answer the questions that people legitimately have. Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet. Of course, there always is. And so some people are afraid to take it, perhaps for reasons that make no sense. But simply refusing to answer questions or to deal with some of the objections is no way to encourage people or to get their confidence. I never thought I would say this, but Nicki Minaj has done the whole country a great favor. And I never thought I would say that about her. Don't buy her music, not really into her lifestyle. But I respect her because when she was essentially pushed back on this, like most celebrities would grovel and apologize and repent, she did not. She stood up and fought back. And for that, I say, Nicki, I give you a 10 out of 10 on political courage when there isn't much of it, including among people who are elected to have some. This second little, let's see, I played that clip. The second one I want to play, this is at the end of a meeting with fire agency officials out in Boise, Idaho. And Joe Biden starts to answer a question. His staff realizes he's about to get on a horse and ride totally out of view of the camera, not literally, but figuratively, and they cut him off. Watch this. This is amazing.
Address this issue that we're all facing, be it climate change, landscape resiliency, or the threats to our communities, and look forward to working with you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep, that's it. No, you can't, Joe. And you didn't see it all. It just went to black. The White House communication team cut off the feed, not just the audio. They cut the whole thing off, ended it. Now, to put that in perspective, when he was talking a little later about the economy, they made sure that in his notes it said, don't take any questions, because remember, when he takes them, he always tells us, now this is what they, whoever they is, have instructed me to do. I guess they instructed him just to walk away, because that's what he did. Watch.
Thank you all very much. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
And off he goes. We hope through the right door. We're not sure. That may have been a closet. But he did exit the scene. No questions, even though they were obviously asking him some. And shouldn't the President of the United States take a few questions on a $3.5 trillion proposal? Don't you think that might be something you would want the press to ask about? No, can't have it. Not going to happen, because he's not going to answer questions. His staff obviously does not trust him to do that. And there's a reason why. And we're going to see it in this clip. This is when he's having a teleconference with the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Boris Johnson, and I'll leave him, the unnamed Australian Prime Minister. Let's see this.
Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister.
I can't remember ever in the history of the United States when he was president referred to a prime minister of a fairly prominent ally, that fellow from down under. I'm sure that guy felt overwhelmed, went home and told his wife, hey, I got acknowledged by the President of the United States. Oh, did you, honey? Well, how nice of him to call you out by name. Oh, he didn't. He just called me that fellow from down under. You can't make this stuff up. We got to play you the clip, otherwise you might think I was making it up, but I'm not. Now, if you're seeing this, I know you've enjoyed that video. I mean, how could you not, after all? So you know what you should do? Leave a like, click on the subscribe button below, and hit the notification bell next to it so you'll always know when I have another video up for you to enjoy.